With the holidays coming, many of us are going to have visitors to our homes, and some of our pets will love having those visitors, and some of our pets are going to be freaked out. So I want to give you a couple of tips. Whether or not your pet is scared or anxious or just overexcited, there are things you can do to help make the holidays great for you, for your visitors, and for your pets. So number one, I want you to look at your pet objectively. Does your pet truly love being with your visitors? In other words, soliciting attention, wanting to be petted, hanging out close to them, not barking or growling or lunging or hissing or swatting? Or is your pet tolerant of visitors, lying on the bed, keeping away from them, avoiding being petted? Or is your pet petrified, growling, barking, lunging, hissing, swatting, hiding, trying to escape? All right, so now that you've looked at your pet objectively, pet number one, which is the pet who really wants to be with the visitors, that pet can be out with the visitors, but I'll tell you in a minute how to do that safely. Pets 2 and 3, the ones that are either apathetic, withdrawn, distancing themselves, or actively trying to escape or showing aggression, really need to be separated from visitors. So how do you separate your pet from visitors? The first thing you do is you create a sanctuary space. A sanctuary space is not punishment. It can be a room, it can be an area, it can be a crate, an exercise pen, okay? It's a place where your pet can go and get away from everything and relax. This is good for cats and for dogs. Ideally, you're going to want to have trained this, right? Taught your pet to stay away from you, because there's lots of pets who are not conditioned to stay behind a closed door or behind a baby gate. If you are coming up on a holiday celebration and you don't have time to teach your dog to be comfortable in the sanctuary space, or your cat for that matter, contact your veterinarian right now, today, and ask them for medication that will help you get through the holidays so your pet can be in the sanctuary space. Notice I didn't say medicate your pet and then cut them loose with a bunch of visitors. No, like, we're not going to do that. All right, so what are the elements of a great sanctuary space? Number one, it's away from the action. Number two, there's ambient sound like white noise, brown noise, or Zounds music for pets. Number three, everything your pet needs is there. So water, food, toys, a bed, and for cats, we also need a litter box. Let's get both dogs and cats in the sanctuary space about 15 minutes before visitors arrive, just in case you have some early birds. And we're going to leave them in that space until about 10 minutes after all of your visitors leave, because you just don't know when people are coming back into the house. Maybe they wanted to get an extra bit of that pumpkin pie to bring home, or maybe they forgot something. I mentioned it before, but it's worth mentioning again. Give your pet food toys, and give them enough food or puzzle toys so that they can stay occupied for the entire time that your visitors are there. What if your pet is just overexcited? Like, this is truly a happy, joyful pet when people are around, but he's jumping all over people and tripping them as they come through the door, and you're trying to let your visitors in and your dog is running out the door, which is extremely dangerous, right? We don't want any dogs hit by cars or anything like that. So what do? For those dogs, we are going to lure them into a separate space, put up a baby gate or close the door, and then let them out to be with the visitors. So basically what you'll do is you'll keep treats. I have here some extra bread that we tear up for Maverick, right? You're going to tear that up into tiny pieces, and then you're going to toss that into the room where you want your dog to go. Ideally, this is very close to the front door. Then you're either going to close the door or put up a baby gate and toss some more of those tiny treats, tiny like the size of my fingernail, okay, into that room. You want a little treat, Maverick? Let's do it. You're just amazing for lying here. So there's a piece of bread. Anyway, you're going to toss those treats right into that room, and then your dog is occupied probably for about 2 or 3 minutes, as long as those treats are really, really tiny. At that point, if your dog is completely calm, no barking, jumping, whining, you can let him out. Some dogs will be let out on a leash, because once they get to the person, they'll jump again, and some dogs can just be let out to interact. We want your visitors to have treats if they're willing to cooperate. Now, some people are not willing to cooperate, and I get that. As a guest, I'm not there to work. I'm there to be a guest and enjoy my friends and family. So if your guests don't want to cooperate by handing your dog treats when he's nice and calm, then that is on you. That means you definitely have to wait until your dog is completely calm to let your dog out of that space, and you have to have treats on you. When your dog is sitting and calm in the presence of the visitors, you're going to go ahead and reinforce that behavior. Then when you're feeling really confident you can drop the leash, you're ready to go ahead and do that. Keep in mind there are some trigger points that we're just not going to have our pet's presence for, and that's dinner, okay? If you are in the middle of eating dinner, please go ahead and just put your pet up in its sanctuary space so that everyone can enjoy themselves without any stress. Maverick and I hope that all the pets and people in your life have a fantastic, safe, and joyful holiday season.